welcome to your messages for the month of June 2025. So this is going to be super interesting because all year, so if you've been watching regularly, you'll know I've had this feeling that something big is happening on a personal and collective level in the summer of 2025. And June is the beginning of the summer. So that one wanted to come out. Oh, clearly that one did as well. I love the way they work. So yeah, this is going to be interesting to see what June is going to bring us energetically, astrologically, or more the point what we are going to create in our own realities, and how the macrocosm is going to reflect the microcosm. As within, so without, as above, so below. So everything has to have a reason. Every cause, it has cause and effect. That's the sixth of the seven Hermetic principles. So what do they say? Coincidence? There are no coincidences. Coincidence is just a law unknown to us. If we think something's a coincidence, it's just because it's a law unknown to us. So let's see what's going on. They're face down. Anyone that's new to my channel, welcome. I just shuffle the cards as you've seen, and they are face down. Three have come out. That's the magic number. I just go with whatever number wants to come out at the time. Let's dive in. The first one, I think we had this last time, didn't we? Yes, the 10 of Cups. Now, what I'm enjoying about the 10 of Cups energy already is there is a community element to it. It is happy families, basically. Some tarot readers would say it's the happiness that's come after the storm, which may well be the case. But for me, it's very much about community. It's not just blood family. For me, this is about tribe family as well. Tens are completions. They show that some spiritual lesson has been completed, some phase has been completed. Now, this is interesting because, things are speeding up, manifestations are speeding up. And you may have started a business or a job or a relationship or something just a short time ago, and you felt like this is it, this is me in alignment, this is the direction I want to go in. Everything's perfect, everything's falling into place. You would have had all those synchronicities and all those feelings that it's a divine action. Okay. And it sorry, my dog's barking. And it was and is a divine action. But once you've learned the lessons from that relationship, that job, that situation, that community, whatever it may be, then it's time to move on to the next lesson, which could be in another community, in another job, in another relationship, in another activity, in another business. You see where I'm going with this? This is quite interesting. I don't think I've ever said this about the 10 of Cups before. So Cups is definitely spiritually guided. It's definitely intuitive. It's emotionally fulfilling. It's definitely emotional. Sometimes that emotional fulfillment comes after an emotional roller coaster. We know that. The rays here show spiritual guidance. So it's a beautiful, happy card. But I think what I want to say with this is things are moving on, things are changing, and we're actually moving away from the things that we thought were us now. It's like the new us. We've talked a lot about leaving the old paradigm, creating the new. And I think what happens is for us to actually create heaven on earth, our version of heaven on earth, I think we're still needing to go in stepping stones because our human minds just can't fathom the level of miracles that we can produce. So it kind of goes in stages, because if you jump straight from the old paradigm into your complete vision of heaven on earth, just think how many changes need to go. I mean, your whole body obviously will change, because everything outside of you is a reflection of your frequency. And maybe we can't raise our frequency that quickly, I don't know, but there's something about going in installments here. So I think the reason I'm trying to get to the point with this card is, I think the thing that has completed, tens of completions, the things that have completed for us are things that we thought were our new earth activity. We thought they were things that are our new world, our heaven on earth. And something somewhere along the line, our souls are taking us even further. And so I think there's a bit of a wrench going on here, because I think we've kind of thought, oh, yeah, this is my new world. This is my heaven on earth. This is my permanent tribe, my permanent relationship, my permanent purpose. I don't think we have a permanent purpose. I think we have a purpose. Our purposes are for the purpose of learning our spiritual lessons. And when we've learned them, we move on to the next one. I want to see, we move on. Oh my gosh, no, truth bumps. They're face down. I literally said we move on to the next one and picked up this card. The Six of Swords is the moving on card. Oh, you see, you can't make this stuff up, can you? Even if I tried to, I couldn't make this stuff up. Yeah, definitely. I don't know what the third card is yet, but I want to talk about this one first. So here we've got, you see now, yeah, I'm sorry, it's still stepping stones for me, because I was going to say, normally I would say this is troubled waters. The Six of Swords comes after the Five of Swords, which is mental conflict. And so the Six of Swords shows the moving on to calmer waters, having been in the turmoil of the mental turmoil of the Five of Swords. But actually, if you look carefully, that's not really troubled waters. If you look carefully, that's just ripples. That's just rippled water. It may not be as tranquil and calm as this water, but this isn't troubled waters. You could swim in that quite easily. It's not a problem. So, yeah, this is moving on. We're moving on from the last dream that you created or manifested. Oh my goodness me. That's really weird. I'm feeling really strange having to say all of that. It's just coming to me as I'm looking at the cards. We're moving on from the last dream that you manifested. No, doesn't mean that, if you've just got married, you're going to get divorced. It doesn't mean that everything's going to end. There's something, just one part, of your life that is moving on. And it is to do with the fact that your frequency has risen. Yeah, interesting. I want to see the last card. Here we go. We've got the Four of Cups here. Now, the Four of Cups, we might be feeling a little bit in limbo again. Because what happens is we manifest our new dreams. Well, we're manifesting all the time. Let's not play that game of, yes, I want to manifest. I want to learn how to manifest. We're all manifesting all of the time. Manifest means to bring into physical form. How do things come into physical form? Through us. Things come into physical form through our consciousness, through our thoughts, through our words, and through our actions. So we are always in every now and moment creating and manifesting our reality. You don't just stop manifesting, you keep manifesting. It's just that we might manifest things that we don't prefer, or we might just keep manifesting the same. If our consciousness, our thoughts, our words, and our actions are the same, if they don't change, then we can't create a new manifestation or something different. So, yeah, manifesting is always going to be the same. But I think what's happened here is we're moving on to create something new, something more than we could have fathomed. And now I'm realizing that's exactly what I was saying about the summer of 2025, was that in the summer of 2025, we're going to look back and we're going to be living some part of our life. I'm not saying all of our life, but some part of our life we're going to be living at a level or in a state or in a way that we couldn't fathom at the beginning of the year. And I think that's why I'm talking in stepping stones, because so that it's not too much of a shock to the system. So we might be a little bit in limbo because we might be feeling, well, we might not even be feeling it. What happens is the universe will take us where it needs us to go. And so if there's suddenly no energy in your job, you might have loved your job, and now suddenly you go in and your heart sinks. You might have loved doing a particular activity, a new class, a creative project or something. It might have really lit you up at the beginning of the year. And now it's like it's not lighting you up anymore. And maybe it's a program that says to you that you have to carry on with it because you had wanted it so much or something like that. But I think there's also something like timeline jumps going on. You know, if you've jumped timelines, maybe you're not meant to complete that activity, continue in that job, continue in that relationship, whatever it may be. It's going to be different for different people, of course, and it's going to be on different scales for different people. But there's there's something that is going to change for us, and it might be putting us in a little bit of limbo because we're like, okay, this isn't happening for me. Maybe clients aren't coming in, or maybe, you've fallen out with your boss, or, I don't know, relationship not going well, or, what used to motivate you isn't motivating you anymore. What used to inspire you isn't inspiring you anymore. Maybe the things you used to do and the things you used to love just aren't doing it for you anymore. That's okay. That's okay. And maybe the new hasn't come in yet. And so that's what he's saying, because he's the Four of Cups and he's pretty much twiddling his thumbs and he's a little bit bored. He's a little bit bored. He's like, he's already a bit bored with that activity, that job, that relationship, whatever it is. He's a little bit bored in certain areas. And so I call him the gratitude card because this is the new coming in. It's trying to come in. But the reason he's not receiving it is because he's focusing on all the things that are not working for him, all the things that he's not happy with. That's what he's focusing on. He's not focusing on the things that are lighting him up. It's like we just have to keep thinking, okay, so what is it that excites me? What is it I would rather be doing? So this is a boredom card. So this will be interesting. I always used to say that boredom was a self-inadequacy or something, because if you're bored, it kind of I always thought, how can you ever be bored when there are so many books to read and so many people to meet and so many things to do in life? If you're bored with one thing, I understand that concept. We'll go and do something else. But sometimes, when you think this is your life, this is my relationship for life, this is my job for life, this is my favorite activity to do for life, and then suddenly whatever it is boring you, it's like, oh, hang on a minute. So this is a gratitude card. So I am grateful for all that is good in my life. I want to say I am grateful for all in my life. I am grateful for everything in my life, not just the good, right? Because we know to be grateful for everything. But yeah, I live my life with gratitude. I live my life through gratitude. Any of these affirmations, any affirmations to do with gratitude, and to write a gratitude list. So those of you that are new, chapter 2, book 1 is all about how to create through gratitude, how to raise your frequency through the power of gratitude and using the energy of gratitude to manifest what you choose in life. And now on my website, deborahjanesutton.com, you can still download the PDF version of my first book, Heal Yourself to Happiness. But now you do it directly. It's not going through MailChimp. I don't take your email address or anything. Now you can literally just go to my homepage and you click the download and you get the PDF straight away. It's a file on there, and then you can just download that PDF. So you don't even have to. I hope my dog barking isn't being heard too loudly because I can hear him loudly. So you don't even have to put your email address in or anything like that. You can just download that first book. So yeah, chapter 2, book 1, gratitude, the power of gratitude, and just being grateful for everything and everyone, and not just that. every flower, every insect, every breath, every bird song, every blade of grass, every cell of your body, every vision that you have, every thought that you have. The gratitude list can just go on and on and on. It can get really quite, the momentum can really get going. I remember filling loads and loads of notebooks up with I talked about this in the first book, but I learned this with my Reiki when I was training in Reiki all those years ago. Because being grateful for everything is one of the 5 Reiki principles. And so that's when I started being grateful. And I started off with just being grateful for my mum, my sister, and my son. I just started off with the 3 of them. Every day I would leave the flat and go, I'm so grateful for my mum, my sister, and my son. My mum, my sister, and my son. And that's all I started with, right? And then by the time I got in the car, it was like my mum, my sister, my son, and my car. Oh, my car started. Brilliant, because it was an old car, right? I'm so grateful that my car started. I'm so grateful I'm so grateful I can hear the birds singing. And then it just used to grow and grow and grow. And then in the end, I would do my gratitude list while I was in my free lesson at school when I was a school teacher. I'd get all the marking done as quickly as possible so that I could spend my free time just writing gratitude lists. And the pen would just go. It was almost like automatic writing. It was just coming out of me, pages and pages of things that I was grateful for, people and situations and things that you wouldn't normally focus on. Because the energy of gratitude is so expansive. That's what I want to say. So just being grateful. And he needs to say my favorite affirmation. Come and say it with me. Galore, galore, I have everything I need and more. You've got to say it 3 times. Remember, 3 is the magic number. Galore, galore, I have everything I need and more. Galore, galore, I have everything I need and more. And that really turns what he's looking at, into an expansive state of gratitude. And when he can do that, this will then come in. He will raise his frequency so that whatever this new is coming in. So this is exciting for me now because this is the beginning of the summer and something is definitely coming in. Because from a cloud, it means it's coming from the divine, it's coming from the universe, it's coming from your higher self. It's part of your destiny, I want to say. It's part of your destiny. Something big as part of your destiny is coming in this summer. And it's going to be something that I think your human couldn't fathom at the beginning of the year. And I think we're going to have a little bit of thumb twiddling. We've got to focus on the gratitude to keep our frequency up because something has completed. You have completed a certain stage. And it is time to move on. And we're moving on to, yes, another level of consciousness, but it could well be a physical moving on. Because remember, the chariot in the major arcana is moving on. He's the moving on card as well. And he's very much about moving on to a higher level of consciousness. I mean, I'm not saying that this isn't a higher level of consciousness here, but the 6 of Swords is very much a physical moving on. So it is more to do with something in the physical realm. Moving house, moving countries, moving jobs, changing relationships, changing activities, our go-to activities, moving on from the services that you offer. I know a lot of people that, watching these videos are healers. You might be doing breath work, you might be doing yoga, you might be doing, massage. I don't know, you're helping the community in some way. This card is a community card, remember, a family card as well, but family community. And there's a moving on. So maybe job done in that, whatever that is. Doesn't mean you can't go back and visit, doesn't mean that they're not all moving on with you, but we sometimes have resistance because this is so much joy. There's so much joy and happiness attached to this card. And so there's a question as to why are we moving on from something that is so beautifully, is complete, it's got all those lovely spiritual, intuitive, and the guidance and everything. It's such a happiness card. And the reason that we're moving on is because we are going to the next stage of heaven on earth. We're going to the next dream that you can dream. We always say, don't we, that you can't dream big enough. but I'm sure it's something that our human minds cannot fathom, but our soul chose it. And when it comes, you're gonna love it. You're gonna love it. But you just don't know that you're gonna love it now. Wow. That has kind of just intrigued me even more. So yeah, the message is one of gratitude. Please excuse my dog laughing his head off. I just hope he's not disturbing too much. But yes, moving on to what I don't know. But let's express gratitude that it helps expand us into whatever this is coming in for our destiny, for us to experience and express our destiny. Wow. Talking of gratitude, I have lots of gratitude for you for getting to the end of the video. Thank you so much. These are your messages through tarot for the month of June 2025. Mwah, mwah, mwah. I love you all. Have a fantastic month. Bye for now.